Now, the issue with that is Diddy is currently locked up at NDC.
He is now being accused of obstructing justice, witness tampering, and so forth.
In a courtroom thick with tension and history, one of the most powerful men in music found himself no longer in command. Shawn "Diddy" Combs, once the architect of his own empire, is now entangled in what may become one of the most consequential celebrity trials in modern history. But this saga isn't just about racketeering or even sex trafficking. It's about lies, under oath, and what happens when a judge reaches his limit. What was meant to be a routine pre-trial hearing on May 8, 2025, exploded into chaos when federal Judge Arun Subramanian publicly accused Diddy of perjury. It wasn't a whisper or backroom scolding. It was a gavel-slammed reckoning delivered before a gallery of journalists, lawyers, and stunned spectators. The spark. A stunning revelation that Diddy, while locked up in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, had allegedly used other inmates' phone accounts to contact witnesses, bypassing prison communication rules. Even more shocking, prosecutors claim Diddy made 128 contacts with former associate Kina Harper in just 4 days. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't accidental. It was, according to the court, calculated witness tampering, and it shattered what little credibility Diddy had left. The courtroom wasn't ready. The judge, who had already denied Diddy bail multiple times, citing witness tampering risks, didn't just respond with procedural discipline. He exploded, furious that a defendant would lie under oath about contact with witnesses.
Freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Subramanian didn't hesitate. He revoked privileges previously granted to Diddy's defense team and referred the matter for additional perjury charges, each one carrying up to 5 years in federal prison. And just like that, Diddy's future, already balancing on a blade, tilted further into collapse. For prosecutors, this was the moment they'd been waiting for. Not only had they built a case filled with horrific accusations, proof, they say, that Diddy was willing to lie to escape consequences. And that lie, it may cost him everything. The ripple effects of that moment are seismic. Within hours, courtroom insiders were already calling it the trial's turning point. Legal analysts noted that perjury charges strike at the heart of any defense strategy.
To the point where he's coming in front of the court and this is being put on record. Not only does it not look like, it doesn't look good, right?
Once a defendant is caught lying under oath, their credibility becomes radioactive. The prosecution doesn't have to prove guilt anymore, they just have to keep pointing at the rot. This is more than a scandal. It's a crumbling empire. Court documents, media investigations, and witness lawsuits all depict the same chilling image. A man who allegedly used his fame, wealth, and influence to build something darker than a business, a criminal machine. Parties dubbed freak-offs, where women were allegedly coerced, drugs were rampant, and violence lingered behind velvet ropes. Staffers like Philip Hines, Diddy's former assistant, claimed they were forced into sexual acts as proof of loyalty. Other accusers describe being groomed, drugged, and threatened. And now, one of those accusers says Diddy was the one filming it all. The list of names attached to this case reads like a who's who of celebrity power. NFL stars, comedians, and other artists, some accused of participating in grotesque acts, others caught in the crossfire of association. One witness, Courtney Burgess, claims to have tapes showing Diddy and other celebrities engaging in sexual activity, some allegedly involving minors. Diddy has denied these claims and filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit, but the shadow lingers. Then came another twist. A juror in the case was discovered to work at the very jail where Diddy is being held. While no direct link was established, the coincidence was enough to shake confidence in the jury selection process. The judge, already enraged, dismissed the juror and slammed both legal teams for what he called inexcusable vetting failures. Subramanian's wrath wasn't performative. It was the eruption of months of frustration, the kind that fundamentally alters the tone of a trial. When a judge believes the court is being manipulated, everything changes. Evidence rulings, jury instructions, procedural leniency. And Diddy? He's no longer just defending himself against crimes. He's defending himself against the erosion of judicial trust. The defense, now backed into a corner, faces unprecedented challenges. Strategic delays have been denied. Procedural tools have been stripped away. Their client is accused of lying, manipulating, and intimidating from behind bars. With opening statements around the corner, they must now proceed under a judicial microscope, with fewer options and an uphill battle to restore any shred of credibility. And the prosecution? They've never been stronger. What once seemed like an overwhelming case, spanning 2 decades of alleged abuse and manipulation, is now laser-focused on a singular, damning idea: that Diddy will do anything, say anything, and risk everything to escape justice. In the court of law, that's a narrative more powerful than any headline. But beyond the legal theater, this case raises a deeper question. How does someone so rich, so famous, so beloved in the culture, fall this hard? Diddy wasn't just a rapper. He was an icon. The man behind Bad Boy Records. The face of parties, brands, revolutions in music and style. He stood for luxury, confidence, and success. But now, he's a cautionary tale. A symbol not of power, but of how power corrupts. As Monday's opening statements draw near, the tone has shifted. This is no longer just a high-profile trial. It's a war over integrity, of the system, of its institutions, and of whether anyone, no matter how untouchable they seem, can bend justice without consequence. The judge has drawn his line. The evidence is mounting. And Diddy, who once moved the world with his voice, now finds silence more damning than any lyric ever could. The trial begins. And with it, the reckoning.